Coming live from Detroit, USA are our guests this morning. Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And before I move forward, may I request you to subscribe, follow, like, and comment on whichever platform you're watching or listening to this show on. And today we have Daniel Cobb Jr. and Nicholas Cobb and Nathan. Welcome to the show, all three of you, straight from the
What's
region.
going on?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing fine, doing great, and nice to see you three great faces in the morning, and making a lot of effort to build up a brand that you have started yourself, and it will be great to know much more about it and let the world also know about it. So it's all looking at such a lovely morning here, and I'm sure it's a great view from here that I see. So thank you very much for joining in. And we'll be talking about how you people are branding, building your brand with NFT, metaverse, Web3, and blockchain and everything. So straightway, tell us about this, extreme lifestyle brand of yours, bruh. Just tell me, how do you pronounce it? What is it exactly about? Any of you, Daniel, Nicholas, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but basically 5 or 6 years ago, this guy was hanging out with some of his friends, and they were just brainstorming some stupid ideas, and then they thought about maybe using the word "bruh" for a brand, and eventually he ended up buying the word "bruh," and really that's the origin of the whole story. Before we even thought of anything, we got the word "bruh," and then he ended up telling me about this, and we all talked about it, and our dad got involved, and we ended up starting a company out of it. And one of our main purposes of starting a company was growing up, me and him would skateboard, we would snowboard, wakeboard, all the sports you could imagine. And we wanted to build a brand that could bring that all together. And so we're like, why don't we do something that is all around, anything extreme, anything that's fun, like put it all together. And so we started working on that. And something that was like super important to us was building a community and bringing people together. And we thought that starting a brand called Bruh, in a sense, is like building a brotherhood. And so there's a few other things to it, but basically we've been big.
Honestly, like that's a big part of it. Is like there's this culture of just there's the full send culture. You hear about it all the time. Just people doing crazy stuff, and like they're either getting totally wrecked or they're actually doing something really sick. And it's very similar to how in these sports, a lot of times the language we use is very surf-esque is what we would say probably, or bro-esque or bruh-esque. And so there's definitely this culture of like, yo, like that was sick, bro, or that was sick, bruh, or like, bruh, you got absolutely destroyed, that was crazy. And so like that word has become very common just in the industry alone. And I mean, you see it everywhere, and it's crazy that the fact that we were able to obtain it as like a trademark. That was one of the kind of moments where we're like, okay, this is cool. This is like legitimately ours. We can build something off of this and scale this thing. And so we became mostly passionate about the lifestyle of it, and like the way we can kind of express ourselves in the industry with the artwork and the designs and the things we make through the brand. And so that was a big part of it that we really loved doing. But yeah, I don't know, Nick, what's like?
I mean, since we like figured out like kind of what our brand was about, we started up a little website, started selling t-shirts, hoodies, skateboards. Eventually we started selling snowboards, and it was cool. We really enjoyed it, but we felt like there needed to be more to the company, and we felt like we had more that we wanted to accomplish with the company instead of just selling a few shirts here and there. And so we actually started moving into the NFT world over the last year, and that's where we started doing a lot of different stuff, and we started changing our company. I mean, I wouldn't say our brand has changed at all, but what our company's goals and missions are as actual company has changed entirely. But I mean, before we get into any of that, I mean, I don't know if we want to go over what NFTs even are first. I think
Right.
that's probably the most important part before we lose everybody.
No, you won't lose anybody because this is such an important thing. You three people are building up such a great stuff. But tell us more about this extreme sports lifestyle. Why did you choose it? How does it resonate with your bro? I guess it came out from the word bro, which is so famous. Is it like
Yeah.
similar or different?
Yeah, it's the same thing as bro, but you're saying it's more honestly, I like this, it's more relaxed version. Like instead of going bro, you're like bruh. Like your mouth literally just drops. So I'd say it's even a lazier version of bro, but that's kind of part of the culture is like we're a bunch of bums just trying to have some fun. And but we're doing it in unique we're finding ways to do that through building our brand. So our brand to us is like our escape for fun and to do things like today, for example, we went mountain biking, just down the street from us, just like an hour ago. And like, those are like things that we get to do that are fun, that kind of fit within the nature of our brand. They're kind of extreme where there's this like risk to it. We have a little skate mini ramp in our backyard that we go and do as much as possible because the excitement and the thrill of, going out there and just skating and honestly, usually falling, at least for me. He never falls, but I fall all the time. And I don't know, there's like this moment of like humility and it's like, oh, wow, that's really, really cool. And like, it all kind of ties back to the lifestyle within the brand of bruh, really. But it's more just like, that's just a skin around the things that we get to do or the things that we want to do, which are these action sports. For me, it's another thing. Like I'm a huge kite surfer. I loved kite surfing for the last, I want to say 8 years of my life. And I was actually a instructor for like 3 years. And I used to just go around on beaches and walk around and freaking teach kite surfing with a bunch of random people. And it was pretty cool. Like I was making like decent money doing it too. But I honestly, I loved the sport so much, but I didn't necessarily love having to teach it all the time. And I was like, I want to find another way to really enjoy these sports. But not kind of living from paycheck to paycheck, getting there. So what is another way to do these things, but also have, a somewhat of a healthy lifestyle. And so building a brand around it was kind of the idea.
Okay. How old are you guys, by the way? If you don't mind telling the audience.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm 18 or 19. Shoot, I just turned 19.
I'm also 19.
You're also 9. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So great. So how did you people think of extreme sports lifestyle? If you can help us understand, or a person like me, how to understand extreme lifestyle brand? What is it that you are building? Things, and what does it contain? What are the stuff that people can look at? Getting associated with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is like when it comes to skateboarding, snowboarding, wakeboarding, whatever it is, there's a community. There's a community in all of it. Like whether you're going to a skate park and hanging out with 10 other guys on the ramp and hanging out with them, or going snowboarding and trying new tricks with friends that you came with. And the main thing I feel like to all extreme sports is like hanging out with people and doing it as a group. And I think with Bruh, what's is cool is we want to put things together and make that easier for people by starting events and doing things with the community just to bring people together. And then obviously we like to sell stuff that's really cool looking so people can like appreciate what they're using, whether that's their snowboard that looks sick or they have a t-shirt that looks sweet, and it all matches in with the Bruh lifestyle, and the people who see people wearing bra know that they know us, whether it's someone locally. It's just like kind of a cool thing to connect it all.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Carry on, Daniel.
Yeah, and with our brand, we make skateboards, we make snowboards, we have street style apparel, like baggy t-shirts, things like that. We're really big fan of just like, I guess, the fashion industry in the skate, within the skate culture. I think there's a lot of really interesting design work done in that. And so and plus it's just comfy to wear when you're riding and stuff. So you're comfortable and you're kind of, you're wearing street style clothes or fashionable clothes. So we like to carry that kind of stuff within the store and within the brand. And so that's actually how we started, was with just the clothes. And then eventually we were like, okay, we want to actually start selling skateboards. So we started putting together skateboards. We got a manufacturer to work with us and, kind of manage that. And then, then came snowboards, because it was funny, since I was a kid, I was probably a little bit younger than Nick and stuff, probably like 16. And I was like, one day I'm going to have a bruh snowboard. Like that was like a dream of mine, was to like have a bruh snowboard. And I remember I made a little like design mock-up in like Photoshop, and like it had like a snowboard with this guy doing a trick, and it was like the bruh logo on the bottom. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be so sick. And one year we were able to kind of pull it off, and it went well. We started getting it into stores and things like that, and that kind of helped build the brand. And we have a local hill called Pine Knob. They have really good terrain parks. And, so we'll go out there. And when I say terrain parks, that's like, those are basically just, areas on the hill where there's lots of jumps and rails and things like that. So they set up features for the snowboarders and the skiers to do tricks and in practice. And so Pine Knob is really, really good spot for that. And so we were really grateful to be able to sell our products there. And, we'd go around the hill and people would be like, yo, it's the bruh guys. And like they just know who we are there, which is kind of neat. And, it's cool to feel like the passion that they also have, and, seeing them ride the snowboards too and whatnot. So it kind of just has been evolving over time into each little thing. And we're slowly kind of building and expanding our brand and, what we're trying to do. And, really it's just about creating a community to have fun and, hopefully make a little money along the way, so you don't have to, kill yourself working a job you hate.
Right.
Yeah. And honestly, I think a big thing is in all action sports is there's styles that go with it. And like 20% of the sport is how cool you look. Most people would probably say. And we have a super particular look that we want to have. So we like to make exactly what we want to wear. And then people can also buy it and wear the same outfits, which is cool.
Right. Nathan, I got to hear something from you too.
Yeah,
of course. Well, when I think about Bra and what we've been doing, it goes deeper than just the products for me. At least what I mean for all of us. I know when we see people on the hill or we see people on the skate park with the Bra merch, we all know we're in a community, and that's like one of the biggest things we want to do with Bra, because when you're on the ski hill, slopes, we're doing whatever. When you're starting an action sport, it's really hard to really get into it, because I suck at most things I ever try to do when it comes to that stuff. So it's really hard getting into that. So when you have a community around you to really support you and not be judgmental, because those places are really judgmental sometimes, it's good to have the bros hanging out with you so you can actually get good and have a good time. So that's the biggest thing for me. We need more than products. We're really the people that want to build a community around these action sports.
Right.
You'd be real quick. You'd be surprised, and what Nate said was cool, because you'd be surprised in this industry. There is a lot of, you have to earn your position to be here.
Daniel, you can speak straight also, no problem, because it will catch up, so no problem, so that the audience can see you. Yeah,
can you still hear me?
Yeah, just a bit towards that side. Otherwise, yeah.
Let me extend this. This will be easier.
Yeah.
Sorry, audience. You'll have to deal with this for a second.
Got a cool t-shirt. Yeah.
Pardon me. Okay.
No.
This should be better.
Yeah.
You like what Nate was saying was good, because it's a big reason to why Bruh kind of exists. Me and Nick, when we were growing up, we didn't really have many skills either, and we weren't naturally good at these sports, and we definitely didn't really put as much time as other people did into it. We just, our family, they were supportive of it, but it wasn't an active thing that we always got to do. And me and my brother definitely weren't pushing for it as much as we could have. And so we were struggling to learn in this space. We were learning slower than others, and people were getting really good. And then we felt like we didn't have, maybe some things, but we just want to kind of realize that this is actually more about having fun and not about being the best in the room or being the best there. It's more just like, hey, just go out there and enjoy it. Don't focus so much on what people think. Don't focus on so much on that kind of the negativity, I guess, that you maybe make up, but focus on like, hey, no, this is a sport that I really want to learn and get good at, just because it's fun and I enjoy doing it. And so that was kind of the energy that created Bruh in some form. And Nate was basically saying how it's nice to have people around that you can trust and feel like, they're not going to be, let's say, maybe judgmental or, feel like you're not in that circle, so to say, because you're not good enough. But in reality, honestly, none of that's like actually true. A lot of it's made up, to be honest, in our own heads. We tend to perceive that, people are judging us when they might not actually be doing that. But I think what bro wants to do is really make it obvious that, hey, no, we're all here just to have a good time. And, you don't got to worry about that.
Right. Now, let me look at it from my side, the way I see it. You guys are young, very young, but you are building a community. You are building a brand. And then, along with that brand building, you are also helping create new entrepreneurs, if I correct. People can connect with your brand, and they can also be entrepreneurs in their own right, being part of this whole system. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right on.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, so that's us diving into the NFT world. And bro didn't really start off as like an NFT based brand. That was never the original intention of it. But when the NFT and blockchain technology came out, we realized, wow, there's a lot of really cool opportunity there. So me and Nick and Nate, we all work in marketing and web design and an agency like that. We actually have an agency called The Alchemist and work for Daniel Bryan Advertising as well. And so we're in this space a lot where we're thinking about new technology, innovation, marketing things and web. And so we kind of obsess over those things. And so we wanted to incorporate kind of what we're doing in the digital world with Web3, which I can explain a little bit later, and bring that into our brand that we're developing. And because we believe that the technologies and blockchain can actually essentially what we call decentralize the brand itself and make it more of a collaborative space where we have lots of entrepreneurs kind of getting involved together to build this brand and not really have a more central top-down approach, which a lot of businesses nowadays, currently have that. And so we're working on the whole decentralization and honestly franchising of the brand itself. But I'll let Nick talk more a little bit about that because he's been working on it. I don't know if we want to dive into more about what NFTs are exactly first, though.
No problem. You speak your heart out. I am listening. Wherever
Okay, yeah. There's a lot to unpack. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but there's, to understand, like, what do you understand about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and from your perspective, what do you understand about it?
I understand that anything that you can, mark as exclusive of your own, you can create that particular stuff, and this will be in your name on the blockchain technology or or through whatever technology that is, and then it can be traded. You can share with anybody. You can exchange. It has a value, and that value cannot be taken away from you easily, and you can sell it, trade with it, and that's the basics I understand.
Yeah.
And you can do it with crypto, maybe any blockchain technology. That's the basic I understand of NFT.
100%, honestly, and that's a pretty, you have a decent understanding of it, probably more so than most people. A lot of people, Nick, maybe scooch up a little bit. You're like covering you entirely. A lot of people don't understand, what an NFT really is at all. Like, we're a very small percentage of population. Most people, when they hear about NFTs, they think about, schemes and scams and rug pulling and, just a lot of negativity around it. And people just trying to, build a pyramid scheme around their NFTs and whatnot. And they don't really see the true value in just what it is within the technology. And honestly, the best way to describe what an NFT is so this right here, this is just a Pokemon card. But it's what we call minted because it's in this case. It goes through a minting process. And, there's a lot of Pokemon cards that are just like this, but because it's minted, it is now like a one of a kind. And right. It makes that, very special. And so in the digital world, it's very much the collector's items like these are very much the same in the digital world with NFTs. It's no different. You're basically making an art piece or making a technology or whatever it is. It can be any digital asset of any kind: music, videos, video games, characters in a video game, objects, 3D. It can be a million things. If you want to get crazy with it, it could be patents, it could be whatever. It could be a whole movie if you wanted to. Those are all NFT. Those can all be NFTs. And really, what an NFT is it's a non-fungible token. So when let's say I wanted to make a movie into an NFT, you can mint. So we would put it, quote unquote, in a case, minting, and it becomes an actual NFT. It's minted onto the blockchain. So once it's minted on the blockchain, it now is essentially a one of a kind there, and the whole network basically confirms that, making it very secure. So yeah, I don't want to get too deep into all the technological things, but what I do want to talk about is a lot of the opportunity that NFT technology kind of brings to us.
Right.
It just
Right.
because there's a lack of, I feel like, knowledge and maybe even experimentation and thought process around like what we can actually do with the technology. And for us, it's unique. I think it'd be good for Nick to kind of talk about what we're kind of wanting to do with it. And then I'll definitely share a few other ideas and things that we're working on outside of what we're doing within BRA. Because BRA is just one concept in the NFT space that we have of probably, thousands.
just one moment. I'll just weave that into more of context with your branding effort with your brand. Now, NFT with your brand. When you started with your brand, you started with not with NFT, but in a traditional manner, whatever you were doing at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then that was how long back?
That was, well, we started the transfer into NFT. Hang on one second. NFT technology just in the last like year or two, probably last like year and a half.
Right.
And prior to that, we were just doing traditional e-commerce. We were just selling our t-shirts online and our skateboards online, and getting our stuff in the stores, going to trade shows, trying to expand the brand in a very traditional manner. Traditional marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest, it's working. Like, we could build the brand out that way, but we just kind of see the opportunities within the technology that the blockchain gives us that's way cooler than what anyone else is currently doing. And especially in the video game world, and even in virtual worlds outside of video games as well.
So I just want to get back to that turning point when you people decided to move on to NFT. So things were going fine, but you thought that NFT will be better for taking your brand forward.
Yeah, well, we also see that no one else is doing a lot of things in the space, especially in the skateboard and kind of action sports industry. There's a lack of that culture in the NFT world. There's a lot of place for growth. There's a lot of room for growth there, which is one opportunity. But honestly, I think just the fact that we can create one of a kind items and make things very special for people is something that's attractive for us. And the fact that we can pass along maybe even quote unquote ownership to people to help expand and build the brand was attractive to us, because we thought, what better way to kind of build a community than through building the business together within that community, and giving people equal opportunity to have their own brand in some form or fashion.
Right. So once you adopted NFT into your system, into your branding effort, how is it what we call getting together with the real world brand? You have a t-shirt, you have a skateboard, you have things which you have on real world. It's not some painting of which you have created a digital asset. And how do you put those things together, create as a digital asset as well as things on the real world? How does it move forward, and how is it helping you in branding?
Yeah. So The very first thing we ever did with NFTs, one of our first ideas actually was trying to figure out some real utility to the NFTs, because like when we first got into it, we saw the crazy purchases that were going on, and most of them were literally just based off of an art piece. People just liked the artwork, and I thought that was cool, but it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't realize why there was so much value in just owning a piece of art. So I thought a cool way of like really bringing utility to the NFTs was giving someone something in real life. And we ended up making a skateboard that you could buy as an NFT. And when you purchased it, it would come with a real skateboard, and you would get that skateboard shipped to your house. And the cool part about it was the NFT was almost like a lifetime guarantee. So if you own the NFT, no matter how long you own it, like if your skateboard breaks, you can change it into a new one, and you can just keep getting a new one until I mean, there's a limit to it, obviously, but we wanted to give someone something that they can use for the rest of their lives.
Kind of like a membership in a way.
Yeah, kind of like a membership. And if someone is to like trade that to somebody else, then they would have that now, and they could keep renewing their skateboard.
So that's something very innovative. So your skateboard breaks, your T-shirt or any other clothing or apparel that gets worn out, you still have an opportunity to get a new one from you guys.
Yep. And it's just a nice way to like keep someone with their ownership, because they have that NFT, and that's what's really valuable. And the skateboard just comes with that. So but I mean, I could dive into what we're working on right now, which is the newer stuff. It's definitely a lot bigger than the skateboard thing that we did.
I'm just trying to understand the branding part, and obviously we'll come down to. So once you started with the NFT, you thought this will help you build community, this will help you with branding effort, and it was something new. Weren't you guys scared that something you are moving into something new may not, it does not have a past to it, nobody knows about it, it can also not work, because everybody is still, as Daniel said, not many people still know about NFT, and we are talking about 2 years back. So how did you guys brainstorm over it and thinking about the way forward?
We saw how risky it was, and we thought we want to do that. That was the very simple answer, but I think Nick can answer a little better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just something that we researched about, and it got us really excited. Like, we think NFTs are so cool, and like we've always been into the video game world, and it's definitely similar. And we watched a few videos, and we just did a little bit of research, and we saw a lot of what people were doing, and it was so unique to us, and it was so advanced in a comparison from what we already knew, and instantly millions of ideas went into our heads for what we could do with it. And I think honestly, it was just the second we learned about it, we fell in love with it.
I mean, here, just to give you a little imagination, like imagine. Okay, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have seen the apocalyptic movie Ready Player One. I don't know if you've seen it, but they kind of display everybody in these VR experiences, and they're running around the video game world that seems real, and they're living in an apocalyptic world or whatever. But that's definitely an exaggeration of what we would be doing in the NFT space. There is a possibility though where you are in a video game, in a metaverse, or in a virtual world, wearing your VR headset. I'm a big VR enthusiast. I got one actually sitting on the back wall there, but I spent a lot of time in that space just to learn about it and figure out whether or not it's actually going to continue to be innovated in and move forward. And it's pretty interesting. The communities that you build in the VR world are very unique from the people in the real world, being that they're all kind of just behind an avatar. But these people in the virtual world would now be able to, let's say you're playing like some sort of sword fighting game, and you go around fighting each other, and you're literally in there swinging your swords around in VR, and then fighting, or you're shooting a bow, but you then run out of ammo, or you broke your weapon and you go buy a new weapon or something. You would go to the store in the game and purchase one of these hand created weapons, or whatever items that someone has made as an NFT, and then for real money, and then you go back and you continue to do whatever. And so this is like this world that we're kind of creating through this technology, that there's these marketplaces now where they're going to be universal as NFT marketplaces, where you can go in and either be a player and just go in and earn to earn to play, or play to earn, where you make money in the game and then you can go and purchase real items and whatnot to kind of grow your character and build your avatar. Or you could be a seller, a creator, where you can be on the NFT side making these weapons or making these items for these games to then sell for real money as well. So you're kind of creating an actual ecosystem and an economy within these virtual worlds that translate into the real world as well. It's kind of bizarre to think, but you could basically wake up out of your bed and move over to your computer and just be making weird sword items and shields and be selling them on a metaverse platform and making that as your job, like that. You're just like a blacksmith of some sort. So that's just one bizarre kind of out there thing, that things are happening, that it's actually being created right now with blockchain technology, whereas it's not just like buying a skin like you would in Fortnite. These days it's quite different, as they're all unique items.
Right, Daniel. Now, I just wanted to understand that how does one get ownership of a NFT from you guys? You then come to use crypto. How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it comes to buying NFTs, it's a big pain in the butt. And there's a lot of ways to handle it, but the main way that people usually sell NFTs and how we did it originally, we're gonna figure out a new method soon. But how it's done is you have to create a wallet in cryptocurrency. So whether that's Coinbase or MetaMask or thousands of different wallets, but you would have to make this wallet, then you would have to purchase the cryptocurrency that is for the product that we're selling. So in that sake, it would be either Solana or Ethereum. So someone would buy the Ethereum and then they would have to purchase the product with the Ethereum. And it does seem like it's pretty simple, but what happens is when you're trying to buy your Ethereum for the first time, it takes like 7 days just to approve it. 99% of the time, your bank's going to think something's going on, some sort of fraud's happening, and it'll block you, and then you can't use any of your money. I've had times where I've had to wait like 2 or 3 weeks just to spend it. So it's definitely not the greatest process right now. And I think that's just because banks aren't really familiar with it yet. But what we're trying to do and what we're planning on doing is when we do release our NFTs, you'll be able to go on our website, you'll be able to put your credit card in, and it'll just come right through. And then it'll transfer to your wallet as a cryptocurrency item still, even though you purchased it with USD. Or whatever other currency it is. And then obviously for people who have wallets, we'll have the option to purchase it with Ethereum or Solana, depending on what we end up going with.
Right. So cash won't work. I just see an item in with you guys and I like it, and somebody in the neighborhood and they come and purchase it from you. They can't do that?
Yep. As long as they go on our website. They're not currently, we haven't dropped them yet, but when we do, we'll have it. So when you go on our website, there will be a button, and as long as you put your wallet ID in, it'll send that NFT to your wallet and it'll be under your name when you buy it.
But you were asking if you can purchase with cash, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, obviously our non-NFT items currently, yes. But yeah, any NFT or any cryptocurrency based item or whatever's on the blockchain, those things all have to be purchased with cryptocurrency using a wallet. Now, I know technologies are improving. I know things are changing rapidly, so the process will be much simpler. We're actually working on a process with another team right now to implement a very simple way to purchase NFTs and things like that. And so those kinds of things will actually improve the industry as a whole, because right now, yeah, it's kind of scary to purchase anything. I mean, even the other day, I was buying some NFTs, just looking on the OpenSea marketplace and stuff, and I was struggling to make some purchases because there was errors that were going on and all sorts of network issues, and then you have these fees that you got to pay. So it's like you just run into a lot of weird things that the normal person is like, what is that? And it becomes scary. So right now, according to the you know the Web3, I mean the Web2 world and the normal world, it's a very scary thing to start with. But I know things are happening, and we're working on things right now to make that process a lot easier. Because really the main issue with this whole industry is making people feel comfortable with it, and they're currently not. And so we want to make it possible for people to get access to things like our products or whatever else people are working on to the space easily, just so we can kind of continue to grow the community.
Right, right, Daniel. So, what do people have decided on a plan, like how to promote your brand and take it forward? There are different phases to you to that whole stuff. So, how are you doing it right now? And what are the new product additions that you are making? And where does this whole thing, the NFT, the metaverse, the blockchain, the Web3, everything comes into the picture? Can you take us on a journey from here, like where you are
Yeah.
right now, and what's the journey you are going to take forward, moving forward?
I kind of want to give you the destination. I kind of want to give you the destination first, then we'll give you the journey.
Right.
I'll let
Right.
Nick handle the journey. So the destination is this. Imagine you were okay. So there's a new video game coming out called Skate 4, and Electronic Arts EA is making this game. Hey, and if they hear this, let's talk, because there's some really cool opportunity there. But EA is developing a skateboarding game. They've done several in this franchise called the Skate series, and it's a very popular game in the skate world. And so when Skate 4 comes out, or they're just calling it Skate, when it comes out, as of now, it's going to be a very similar to the previous Skate games. But the way we see it is, when you're in this skateboarding game, you can walk into a store and you can see essentially an assortment of items to buy from. And when you are purchasing these items, they are all actual NFTs. And when people are publishing these NFTs, for example, like ours, we would actually be a part of that. So we would sell the Bruh skateboard or the Bruh t-shirts, whatever brands want to be in this. It kind of gives an opportunity for brands and collaborations to kind of open up and share their products with people, and then use them in the video game and actually interact with those items. So now we're creating a marketing and brand experience in these video games, and users to actually connect with the brands that they want to choose and use, versus the game deciding who those brands are. And so now it becomes more of a, again, decentralized place and not so top-down approach. It gives a lot of people opportunity. And so, part of our mission is to kind of get to that point where it's like, we want to give everyone a chance to have their brand or their product in games like, Skate, for example. And we believe then, from there, it's like, okay, they bought a t-shirt in the game, let's send them as well. So we'll send them a real t-shirt. So they have the t-shirt in the game that they're wearing and in real life, so they can somewhat identify as their character as well. Which, I mean, honestly, as a kid, that was something like, man, that'd be so like even when I'd make my characters in the game, like I'd somewhat make them like me. But it's just like, you find it cool to have that experience. But Nick's gonna kind of explain basically what we're doing to get there. It's a bit of a process.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so like our first issue when we started, bro, I mean, our main issue was trying to figure out the most effective way to build a community, of course. And when it comes to building a community, you kind of want to give everybody something. You want to help everybody out, and you also need to help yourself out to make it sustainable. And we were trying to figure out ways to do this. And when we learned about NFTs, we learned about a lot of new things. And I think the biggest thing with the NFTs is ownership. And I think the ownership really changes everything. And so we were trying to figure out ways to kind of bring people in and have people help us out, work for us, whatever it is, and without having to give away equity of our company, just so that someone could come and be a part of it. And I think when we figured out that these NFTs are a form of ownership, there's almost a way to franchise our company by using NFTs as the purchase that gives you that ownership. And basically what happens is, when you buy one of our NFTs that we're making 99 of them, and each one is a variant of our logo. So it's just 99 slightly different versions of our logo with like 5 different rarities. And basically each one is in a sense its own brand. So like if you were to buy one of our NFTs, you're going to get your own e-commerce store that's going to have a t-shirt, a hat, and a skateboard or wherever that is. And when you get this site, you're going to instantly get access to it, which it'll be token gated, which means you won't be able to see the website unless you own the NFT. And so if you own the NFT, you can go on this website and instantly you'll be able to have the choice whether to keep this private or make it live. And so if it's private, you'll have 2 or 3 shirts or hats or whatever it is with your logo on it, and you could buy it for yourself, and you could be the only person in the whole world who owns these shirts and hats. Or you can make it public, and then the rest of the world can purchase from it. And what's cool about that is every time somebody purchases from their logo and their brand, they'll get a percentage of the profits. So in a sense, they're getting their own brand, and they can scale and grow their own brand by just purchasing an NFT. And we want to do a lot of stuff with this. We have millions of ideas. And I mean, one of the main things is if we want people to make it their own, and we want to give people the ability to put their own products in, whatever that is. Like if someone is to want to have their own custom t-shirt designs, as long as it's something that we think is part of our brand, we'll allow it, and we'll help them out. And we can work on almost anything with anybody that ends up joining our community, because everybody who owns an NFT will almost be like a member of the Bruh team. And we can work with them and they can work with us, and everybody's winning in this situation because everybody's going to make money from it. And so I think it's just a really cool way to franchise a company and determine who owns what without having to give anything legal away. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
there's a lot to it, but I think that's the gist of it.
Right. So you people are planning to come out with new products, and in fact, you are looking at a metaverse. Now, what is that, and where do all these products come in, and who gives these product ideas? Who is there a team behind you, or is it just the 3 of you?
It's just the 3 of us. I mean, 99% of the time, it's a 3 or 4 hour conversation, getting excited about something, and eventually one of our ideas is something genius. But yeah, that's
Right.
usually how it goes. And most of everything's handled by us. We try to do everything that we can, but we're starting to get a little bit better at delegating, and we're trying to bring more people in to help us out so we can scale it a little bit faster and start executing things a little bit faster as well.
Yeah, we're working on a few things right now with some other teams, trying to get them involved, because yeah, it's a lot to take on between 3 people, and these are 3 people with jobs and whatnot. Like we also run another agency and work for another agency, so it's there's a lot to balance here. But the nice thing is everything we're doing is mostly self-funded. We're not having to bring investors all the way in yet, because we like that we're able to kind of make the decisions and kind of, not like to say that we're keeping that control, but I do like having that so that we're not just kind of losing that in a sense.
Yeah, or maybe not selling out stake at a cheap price, maybe at a higher valuation, or you want to develop things at your own pace. Otherwise,
Right.
you lose, isn't it? Otherwise, there is a lot of pressure apart from your daily life that you are living. Now,
Right.
let me ask you this: you are dealing with several concepts here. One is the NFT, then there is the blockchain technology, then there is the metaverse, and there is the Web3. All things are unfolding, and people are trying to understand these concepts, what this stuff is all about. Even the companies involved in this are trying to just figure out how to implement. Even Web3, we are still in that process of getting it's underway. Nobody knows where it is implemented, how it is implemented, but it's going to change the way the internet is at the moment. Metaverse, people have a different idea. They think more about metaverse, they think more about Meta, more about Facebook. So they are trying to figure that out, and how things will get integrated.
Yeah. What's your question exactly?
My question is that there are so many dynamic stuff involved in your business and into your growth, how do you see managing things if at all there is a event or change in technology or something that, suppose people have a very different idea about crypto. In India we do not have that whole concept. People don't understand it that well, or the government is not allowing it in that manner that that the world perhaps wants to see, or some people want to see.
Mm-hmm. Well,
How does it work for you with so many variables built into the growth of your business?
it's an interesting question. I mean, we're taking it one step at a time. Yeah, the industry can shift very quickly, but we kind of decide what our own path is within this space, because there's not a lot of people doing what we're doing. And so, we see our goal, we see the value in it, and we believe that, it's something that we can create and stick with it regardless of what happens to the industry. Sure, like we just had a market crash where that's kind of scary, with the crypto and everything. It's like, okay, like all of our assets are going down, everything's falling apart, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, honestly, even through that time, when everyone's kind of freaking out, we're like, who cares? Like, it's going to come back up. We know the energy in the space. We've been to these conferences. We were at VCon this year and another one called NFT Expoverse. The energy is good. It's there. People are talking about this. People are sharing the opportunity that is here. And so we're in our heads, we're like, well, this is it. Like, if we want to ride any wave, and when I say wave, any market movement that's happening, this is going to be the one that we want to ride, because there is so much to be found in this space. And to be honest, I like figuring things out, and I think we all do. I think we like innovating and creating new things, and this is one of the greatest opportunities for us to do that, regardless of the outcome. Obviously, the outcome is important to some extent, but I think just because of the energy and the belief we have in this, in cryptocurrency and in NFT technology, that it's actually going to continue to grow. I mean, even like when I was at VCon, I remember Gary Vee was up on stage and he just kept going, like, guys, this is our community. This is our thing. We got to grow. We're like the pioneers of this. Like Vee was just saying the truth. Like, this is a small portion of the population, but there are it's almost somewhat religious in a way, their approach, because of how much faith we have to have in, each other and in the actual technology itself, that we're going to continue to expand upon. And so one thing I thought that was kind of cool that I heard about was, like, over in El Salvador, they introduced Bitcoin as a actual currency there, where you can go and use ATMs in El Salvador with your Bitcoin wallet and scan it, and then money will come out, real printed cash. So, like, let's say me as a American citizen, I go down there, I won't have to worry about doing any sort of cash transactions or conversions or anything like that. I know my Bitcoin works. It's worth the same amount here that it is in America. It doesn't matter where. It creates somewhat of a global currency. And that's like one of a million things that's kind of happening in the space, where it's like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Like, now we have unified, economics, which is pretty interesting. So I don't know. There's just a lot of little things that are happening that are kind of giving us a little bit more belief into what the space is going to look like 10 years from now. And honestly, I kind of see that the blockchain technology will be used in everything and everywhere. Our accounts, our emails, our everything that we use, our passwords, all of that is going to be, stored within our wallets. And, everything we log into will be so much easier because of, better authentication, more security, and easier ways to uniquely identify people, and things to actually then verify them. So those little things just all prove to me that it's like, okay, yeah, this technology, it's very powerful. We can do a lot with it. It's just, who are the people that are going to do it? And we're a bunch of, punk skater dudes or whatever, that a bunch of, nerds that are just kind of having fun with it. And that's okay. And we're going to keep trying to, like, build these things out. But I do believe there are other developers and other people that are much more integrated into the technology that are going to keep moving these things forward because they really care about it. And we're gonna help them out. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, okay. So I get your point of view. I understand it. So you mean that blockchain technology will see a wider adoption? I just want to understand how you guys are seeing this future, the future of this technology, because that's very important as we go. You guys have better imagination, and since it's built up as part of your business, you have delved into it quite deeper than anybody else. So from you guys perspective, if I see it, that blockchain, you see blockchain will have a wider adoption beyond El Salvador, and it will be a part of our daily lives in the coming future. Is
Yeah,
that
of
right?
course. Yeah, of course. I mean, we saw even when the internet came out, no one really wanted to adopt it at first, but now we know that even some of the world's Goliaths and companies are all integrated in that some way, whether that be Amazon, Apple, Google. So, and those are the Goliaths of the world. So we know that all industries have ups and downs and dry spots. So when we saw that this is the downspout, we know there's going to be an uptrend. So that's what we really thought. And it just made sense ever since the get-go. We all knew that we wanted to do this since we even heard about it, because we knew that our community would really love it, and that's how we can build a really worldwide community. So I think other companies will really get attention to this idea and really come through, and we'll have Web3 going just as well as Web2 did.
Yeah. No,
Right, Nate.
I like what Nate said about the global aspect, because that is a big part of what this technology does. Is it gives us access to the global community and not just our local community. Local communities are super important, and they're very, very important for brands, and that's something we're highly focusing on. But why not reach a global community if we have technology that can help us get there? And that's pretty much what blockchain technology does, and cryptocurrency. It gives us that global space. It's no longer just us, it's everybody.
Right.
Yeah, and like one of my main things is it's a technology, and it's, even though there's hype around it and people are saying certain things about it, I don't think it really matters in the end, because the technology is new and there's so many things you can do with it. And I think the utility that you can get out of it is gonna be used no matter what, whether people like it or not. It's a technology, so I feel like you can't really go back on that.
Right. My last question is, in terms of Web3, you guys have talked about Web3. What does one make out of Web3? It's evolving. We're still in Web2. How is it? How do you see it unfolding? How do you see it becoming not just part of your business, but becoming a part of everybody's business? I just want to understand from you people. How do you see it?
So Web3, I mean, when Web3 becomes adopted by more people, I mean, the whole purpose of the Web3 is to all be integrated. I mean, if people don't end up, jumping onto the Web3, concept, then Web3 is kind of useless in some sense. But when we can all become a Web3 network and everything operates within the blockchain technology, then we can, like I was saying earlier about wallets and verification, that's pretty much where it becomes really, really important. Because imagine, like, do you know how social media right now has bots everywhere? Like, you go on pretty much any profile right now and everyone's got 1 million followers, and I guarantee you they're bots. And if you go into the accounts, or you go on and scroll through pictures on any social media platform, there's bots everywhere. And the problem with bots is they ruin data. They ruin real data that people are trying to track. It dilutes it and it invalidates it. And so, these big companies like Meta, Facebook, Instagram, all those platforms, even YouTube, they all have bots basically running through their networks and diluting all of the data that is really important for people like us who are marketers and other digital agencies that are doing marketing, to understand, how those things are working in those spaces. So bots in general, like honestly, I do believe with blockchain technology, there are ways to eliminate, the bot issue that we currently have. So when we build platforms that are similar to Instagram or other social medias, they're essentially going to be bot free. Now everything can be abused. There's always going to be people that abuse things. It's in everything. It's very human nature. But the reality is that the platforms will be cleaner. They will be easier to be tracked, and not in like a weird way or anything, but just like to see, okay, yeah, this is clearly a bot or this is a real person, et cetera, through the blockchain technology. And the whole internet in a whole as itself as Web3 will just be ideally simpler and easier to use, making a lot of and more secure. That is a really big part of it, is that it will be more secure. But we're slowly getting there, and that's why there's such emphasis on people getting on board with Web3 and kind of helping build this, because a lot of people see the future in it, but there's also a lot of people that really don't see the future in it, and so they don't care. They want to stick with Web2 and what's currently safe. But there is a lot more opportunity in Web3, and so we're just kind of in this phase of getting people on board, getting developers and people that are interested in the space to help build it out, so that we can kind of continue to make a more secure network.
Right. I've learned a lot from you guys. Yeah, carry on, Nate.
Yeah, so Dan just gave us an awesome example of how Web3 can help even the marketing agency of the world. But in the real use cases of Meta and everything in that realm, whether that be for blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, it can be really applied to any business in the world, whether that be from a grocery store to a pizza business, being coupons, receipts, or we hear about all these companies being hacked and all people's credit card information getting stolen. They can eliminate that with wallets and making those unique, so you cannot get hacked into your credit card or anything like that. So every business will wake up and understand that it will be best for their customers and it'll be best for their business.
Yeah, and that makes the whole marketing world especially is very sorry, the mic's falling over. The whole marketing world can definitely benefit, but also businesses will surely benefit, because the process of using, I guess, blockchain technology can actually simplify the whole approach to marketing and to even reward systems and things like that. Obviously it'll probably be years from now, but when we start using our wallets on our phones and cryptocurrency, things like going to the grocery store or going to your local restaurant and purchasing items with your phone and your wallet, those things are all tracked. Those purchases are all tracked and can be tied back to reward systems all automatically. So it's no longer just getting a punch card or having to pull up an app every single time you want to get your rewards, or it just eliminates that middleman and that extra step. The smart contracts that are a big part of the whole blockchain technology is kind of a huge factor to the technology itself, in that it makes doing contracts and actually setting up those types of reward systems even a lot easier for customers. So there's no middleman anymore. It just kind of automates all those processes to make it easier for companies.
Right. I've also understood things better, get your perspective, and the best part is that Web3 will make the world a safer place. And perhaps when the world will be without bots, Elon Musk then can buy Twitter without bots.
Yes.
Okay.
No more bots. We're getting rid of all the bots. They're gone.
Yeah. And then, great. So in terms of business, I've understood it better, and I wish you all the best. Now, in terms of connecting with you people, how do people connect with you? Those who want to become entrepreneurs with as part of your franchisee, how they want to do business with you if they want to. So how do they do that?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a few ways. I mean, I would say probably the best would be our website is nft.io, and there's a form on there, and we try to respond to everyone as fast as we can. And usually, if someone wants to work with us, we'll probably get a message there. And then obviously, if you want to see what's going on with us, we have our Instagram handle, which is Chief Bruh. CHIEFBRUH, and that's our Instagram handle, and that's probably our best way to quickly message us, or if you want to see what we've been working on, it's probably the most recently updated. And then our main store is brashop.com, and that's our basically our whole catalog of links.
Yeah, I put all the links in the
Right.
chat.
Right. In fact, I'll add some of this information onto the YouTube description so that people can get it much easier.
Disregard that first one. That was a typo.
Okay. So, with all this information, just want to thank you guys for coming on to the show and helping us understand, old people like me to understand which way the world is going, and to the younger people who are listening or watching to this show, they understand how the world is going forward and how they can be part of this growing opportunity. With this,
Yeah, thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So with this, it's a wrap on this edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you once again.
Awesome.